154. Li Lingfu, a honeyed tongue with a treacherous heart. After reigning peacefully for over 20 years, Emperor Xuanzong of Tang gradually became complacent and indulgent. He believed that since the empire was stable, the government was managed by his chancellors, and the borders were defended by generals, there was no need for him to overly concern himself with state affairs. Consequently, he began to seek pleasure and entertainment. Chancellor Zhang Jiuling was deeply worried about this change in the emperor's attitude and frequently offered advice. Initially, Xuanzong respected Zhang Jiuling, but over time, he grew increasingly impatient with his admonitions. Among the court officials was Li Lingfu, a man of little talent or learning but highly skilled in flattery and deception. He colluded with eunuchs and concubines in the palace, gathering intelligence on the emperor's thoughts and conversations. By the time Emperor Xuanzong sought his counsel, Li Lingfu would respond as if he had anticipated everything, perfectly aligning with the emperor's mindset. Xuanzong found this incredibly pleasing and came to regard Li Lingfu as more capable and agreeable than Zhang Jiuling. When Xuanzong considered appointing Li Lingfu as chancellor, he consulted Zhang Jiuling. Seeing through Li Lingfu's character, Zhang Jiuling bluntly warned, "The position of chancellor is critical to the stability of the empire. If your majesty appoints Li Lingfu, I fear the nation will face disaster in the future." These words reached Li Lingfu's ears, and he harbored deep resentment toward Zhang Jiuling. Meanwhile, in Shuofang, modern-day Ningxia, there was a general named Niu Xianke, an illiterate man but skilled in financial management. Xuanzong considered promoting him, but Zhang Jiuling opposed the decision. Li Lingfu seized the opportunity to discredit Zhang Jiuling, telling the emperor, "A man like Niu Xianke is a true chancellor candidate, whereas Zhang Jiuling is merely a bookish scholar who lacks practical vision." Zhang Jiuling's fall, Li Lingfu's rise. One day, Xuanzong once again brought up the matter of Niu Xianke's promotion. Zhang Jiuling still refused to support it. Losing his temper, the emperor rebuked him. "Must you have the final say on everything?" Xuanzong grew increasingly dissatisfied with Zhang Jiuling and, swayed by Li Lingfu's slanders, finally found an excuse to dismiss him. In his place, he appointed Li Lingfu as chancellor. Once in power, Li Lingfu's first action was to isolate the emperor from the court officials, forbidding them from presenting direct advice to the emperor. He gathered the imperial advisors and openly declared, "His Majesty is wise and enlightened. As ministers, our duty is simply to follow his will. There is no need for excessive discussion. Have you not seen the ceremonial horses in the palace? They receive the same rations as third-rank officials, but if one dares to neigh, it is immediately removed. The consequences are irreversible." One censor disregarded Li Lingfu's warning and submitted a memorial with suggestions to Emperor Xuanzong. The next day, he received an order demoting him to a county magistrate in the provinces. Everyone in the court knew this was Li Lingfu's doing, and from then on, no one dared to offer advice to the emperor. Eliminating competitors. Li Lingfu was aware of his poor reputation in the court. To protect his power, he systematically removed any officials more capable than himself. While maintaining a friendly demeanor, he secretly schemed against his rivals. Once, Emperor Xuanzong stood on the Qingjin Tower and observed an official, Lu Xian, passing by on horseback. Impressed by his distinguished appearance, the emperor casually praised him. Upon hearing of this, Li Lingfu immediately orchestrated Lu Xian's demotion to governor of Huazhou. Not long after, he falsely accused Lu Xian of being unfit for duty due to poor health, leading to yet another demotion. Another official, Yan Tingji, had already been exiled due to Li Lingfu's schemes. One day, Emperor Xuanzong recalled Yan Tingji and remarked, "Is Yan Tingji still around? He is a talented man and should be given another opportunity." Li Lingfu responded, "Since your majesty values him, I will make inquiries about his condition." After court, Li Lingfu summoned Yan Tingji's younger brother and said, "Your brother longs to return to the capital, doesn't he? I have a way to help him." Grateful for Li Lingfu's supposed kindness, Yan Tingji's brother eagerly asked for advice. Li Lingfu suggested, He should submit a memorial stating that he is ill and requesting permission to return to the capital for medical treatment. Yan Tingji, trusting his brother's words, followed this suggestion. Li Lingfu then presented the memorial to Emperor Xuanzong, saying, "What a pity, Yan Tingji is gravely ill and no longer fit for office." Xuanzong sighed regretfully and let the matter drop. Yan Tingji was not the only victim of Li Lingfu's deception. Many officials fell for his tricks, only to find themselves sidelined or removed from power. Eventually, the court recognized his true nature. People described him as honey-tongued but with a sword in his belly, giving rise to the Chinese idiom Kou Mi Fu Jian, meaning someone who speaks sweetly but harbors treacherous intentions. The decline of the Tang dynasty. Li Lingfu remained chancellor for 19 years. Under his rule, competent and upright officials were systematically purged, while sycophants and flatterers were promoted. During this period, the Tang dynasty, once prosperous, began to decline. The golden age of the Kaiyuan era faded, giving way to chaos and corruption. Eventually, this misgovernance led to the disastrous and Lushan Rebellion, known as the Tianbao Chaos, Tianbao being the reign title of Emperor Xuanzong's later years. Through manipulation and deceit, Li Lingfu rose to the pinnacle of power, but his legacy was one of ruin. His actions played a significant role in steering the Tang dynasty toward its eventual downfall. 155. Li Bai, defying the powerful. When Emperor Xuanzong of Tang turned 61, he became enamored with the young and beautiful consort Yang Guifei. It was said that Yang Guifei was not only a rare beauty but also intelligent and well-versed in music. To please her, Emperor Xuanzong granted official titles to her 2 brothers and bestowed noble titles upon her 3 sisters. Yang Guifei had a distant cousin named Yang Zhao, later renamed Yang Guozhong, who lived in poverty in Sichuan. When he heard that his cousin had become the emperor's favorite consort, he brought gifts to Chang'an to seek her help. Yang Guifei spoke favorably of him to Emperor Xuanzong, and as a result, Yang Zhao was appointed as an officer in the imperial guards. By this time, Xuanzong had already delegated state affairs to Chancellor Li Lingfu. With the arrival of Yang Guifei, he became even more immersed in pleasure, often neglecting his daily court sessions. Whatever Yang Guifei desired, he sought ways to provide. She loved eating fresh lychees, a fruit native to the southern regions. Since Chang'an was far to the northwest, obtaining fresh lychees seemed impossible. However, to delight Yang Guifei, Xuanzong ordered officials in Lingnan to arrange for riders to transport lychees at full speed, passing them relay-style from station to station. By the time the lychees reached the palace, they were still fresh, fragrant, and juicy. As Emperor Xuanzong and Yang Guifei indulged in daily feasts and revelry, they often summoned musicians to perform. However, the old court songs had grown tiresome. Xuanzong wanted fresh lyrics and sought a talented poet to compose them. Li Bai's arrival at the palace. A court official, He Zhizhang, informed Xuanzong that a great poet, Li Bai, had recently arrived in Chang'an. He praised Li Bai as a genius in poetry and literature. Xuanzong, already familiar with Li Bai's reputation, immediately ordered He Zhizhang to summon him to the palace. Li Bai, courtesy named Tai Bai, was one of the greatest poets of the Tang dynasty. He was born in Suiye, now part of modern-day Kyrgyzstan, and his ancestors were from Longxi Qingji, modern-day Qinan, Gansu. From a young age, he was well-read and had a bold, free-spirited nature. In addition to literature, he was skilled in swordsmanship. Beginning in his 20s, Li Bai traveled widely, visiting major cities such as Chang'an, Luoyang, Jinling, and Jiangdu, as well as famous scenic locations like Dongting Lake, Mount Lu, and Kuaiji. His extensive travels and exceptional intellect contributed to his poetic mastery. Li Bai had political ambitions and despised the corruption of the imperial court. He hoped to receive an official appointment where he could implement his ideas. When he received Xuanzong's summons, he was pleased, believing it to be an opportunity to serve the nation. When Li Bai arrived at the palace, Xuanzong conversed with him and was deeply impressed by his talent. The emperor remarked, "You are an ordinary man, yet even I have heard of your name. Without genuine ability, how could you have become so famous? After this meeting, Xuanzong appointed Li Bai as an academician at the Hanlin Academy, where he was tasked with drafting imperial edicts. Li Bai's defiant spirit. Li Bai was fond of drinking, often to the point of intoxication. Even after joining the Hanlin Academy, he continued his habit of frequenting Chang'an's taverns with his poet friends. One day, Xuanzong commissioned musicians to compose a new melody but lacked lyrics. He immediately dispatched eunuchs to summon Li Bai. However, when the eunuchs searched for him at the Hanlin Academy and his residence, he was nowhere to be found. Eventually, someone informed them that Li Bai was drinking in a tavern. The eunuchs scoured the streets of Chang'an until they finally found him, completely drunk and fast asleep. They woke him up and informed him that the emperor was calling for him. Li Bai groggily rubbed his eyes and asked what the matter was. The eunuchs had no time to explain and hurriedly carried him into a sedan chair, transporting him to the palace. Upon arriving at the inner court and seeing Emperor Xuanzong, Li Bai attempted to bow, but his intoxicated body would not cooperate. Seeing this, the eunuchs splashed cold water on his face, gradually sobering him up. Xuanzong, amused rather than angry, simply instructed him to compose the lyrics immediately. The eunuchs quickly prepared brushes, ink, and silk for writing. Li Bai sat cross-legged on the floor, but found his boots uncomfortable. He spotted an elderly eunuch nearby and casually stretched out his leg, saying, "Please remove my boots for me." That eunuch was none other than Gao Lishir, the emperor's most trusted palace attendant. Gao Lishir wielded great influence at court, often intimidating officials. Now, a mere Hanlin scholar had the audacity to order him to remove his boots, an unforgivable insult. However, with Xuanzong watching and eager for Li Bai's lyrics, Gao Lishir dared not refuse. Suppressing his rage, he forced a smile and said, "Ah, he's drunk, nothing can be done about it." With gritted teeth, Gao Lishir knelt and removed Li Bai's boots. Li Bai, indifferent to the eunuch's humiliation, did not even glance at him. He picked up his brush and, in a flourish, swiftly composed 3 verses of Qing Ping Diao, Song of Pure Serenity, then handed them to Emperor Xuanzong. Xuanzong read the poems repeatedly, admiring their elegance and rhythmic beauty. He immediately ordered the court musicians to perform them. The court's jealousy and Li Bai's departure. While Xuanzong appreciated Li Bai's talent, Gao Lishir bore a deep grudge. One day, while accompanying Yang Guifei on a stroll through the imperial garden, she began to sing one of Li Bai's poems. Seizing the opportunity, Gao Lishir feigned shock and said, "Your Highness, do you not realize that Li Bai's poetry insults you?" Curious, Yang Guifei asked him to explain. Gao Lishir fabricated a story, claiming that Li Bai had subtly likened her to Zhao Fian, an infamous empress of the Han dynasty known for her indulgence and misconduct. He insinuated that Li Bai was mocking her. Believing Gao Lishir's words, Yang Guifei grew resentful. She repeatedly complained to Xuanzong about Li Bai's arrogance, gradually turning the emperor against him. Eventually, Li Bai recognized that the imperial court was filled with sycophants like Li Lingfu and Gao Lishir. He realized that his position was merely to amuse the emperor, with no real opportunity to influence politics. Understanding that his aspirations were futile, he submitted a formal request to resign. Xuanzong, seeing no reason to refuse, granted his request and even rewarded him with money before sending him home. A return to the poet's life. After leaving Chang'an, Li Bai resumed his free-spirited life as a wandering poet. Sometimes, he secluded himself to study, other times, he traveled across the country. During these years, he composed numerous poems celebrating the magnificent landscapes of China. On one occasion, while traveling down the Yangtze River from Baidi City, he wrote the famous poem, "Departing Baidi in morning's glow, amidst the painted clouds I go. 1,000 miles to Jiangling sped, one day's journey swiftly fled. On either bank, the gibbons call, their endless cries still linger tall. Through myriad peaks my boat has flown, the rushing waters guide me home. Li Bai's poetry, marked by its bold spirit, vivid imagination, and passionate expression, became immortalized in Chinese literary history. A nation in turmoil. Just as Li Bai was fervently singing praises of his homeland, the Tang dynasty, plagued by corruption, was on the brink of disaster. Soon, the empire would descend into chaos, bringing an end to its golden age.